Before we go into measuring complementary and supplementary angles and finding their missing angles, let's first go over the definitions. A complementary angle is two angles whose sum is equal to 90 degrees, and a supplementary angle are two angles whose sum is equal to 180 degrees. Now let's go through a quick example. Now here we have a complementary angle. We see these two angles. If we add their sum together, they should be 90 degrees. I have a 44-degree angle and I also have a missing angle, and I'm not sure what that is yet, but I do know that this is a complementary angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an equation to help me solve for this missing angle. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to say 44 degrees plus this missing angle. I don't know what it is yet, but I just know it's x many degrees. So I'm just going to put x here. And if I add these together, if this truly is a complementary angle, I should get 90 degrees. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to use opposite operations to isolate this variable x. So I'm going to do all my work in red so you guys can see that. So right over here, the opposite of adding 44 is subtracting 44. I'm going to do that to both sides so that I balance my equation. And I'll have to do a little bit of borrowing here. Now 44 minus 44, that cancels out. I don't have to worry about anything there. Over here, I can't subtract 0 by 4, so I'll borrow. 10 minus 4 is 6. 8 minus 4 is 4. So right here, I'm going to get a final result that says that x is equal to 46 degrees, which makes sense because if I substitute my x with my 46, 44 plus 46 will give me a total angle measure of 90 degrees. Now next we're going to be talking about complementary angles, or not complementary, supplementary angles. And I can see from the straight line here that this is a supplementary angle and that the measure of this will add up to 180 degrees. And just like last time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an equation and I'm going to use opposite operations to solve for this missing angle measure. So I know that 80 plus x equals 180 degrees. We have this plus this should give us a complete straight angle. So I'm going to use opposite operations to solve for this. I'm going to subtract by 80 on this side, subtract by 80 on this side as well. 80 minus 80 will cancel out, so this is gone. Luckily for us, this worked out to a nice even number. So 180 minus 80 will just give us 100. So I know that x is equal to 100. Now I'd like you to try this on your own, and once you're done, I would like you to write the equation in your notebook, but I will be asking you for the value x at the end. All right, now that you've had some time to try that, let's do it together to make sure that we've gotten the correct answer. So this is a complementary angle, so I know that 57 degrees plus x will give me 90 degrees. I subtract 57 from both sides because I want to get rid of everything besides this x over here. So minus 57, minus 57. I'll have to do a little bit of borrowing here. I know that this cancels though, so that'll make my life a little easier. Now 90 degrees minus 57 degrees, I'll have to do a little borrowing. 10 minus 7 is 3. 8 minus 5 is 3. So I have that x is equal to 33 degrees. Next we have a supplementary angle. So you may try this on your own, write the equation, and I'll be asking you to give me the value of x as your answer. Now that you had some time to try that on your own, let's do it together. So we have 132 plus x equals 180. I'll use opposite operations to solve for my variable x. So minus 132, minus 132. These will cancel out. I'll have to do a little bit of borrowing over here. So 10, this turns into a 7. 10 minus 2 is 8. 7 minus 3 is 4, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So I know that x is equal to 48 degrees. Now I would like you to try these two problems on your own. Once you have written the equation and solved for the missing variable, we'll go through these together to make sure that we've solved them correctly. So I'd like you to try both of these at the same time. All right, now that you've had some time to work on these problems, let's do them together. So we have 16 degrees plus x equaling 90, because this is a complementary angle. I subtract 16 from both sides to get xl by itself. This cancels out for me. I'll have to do a little bit of borrowing here to help me solve this. 10 minus 6 is 4. 8 minus 1 is 7. So x equals 74 degrees. So that's the measure of our missing side. Over here, this is a supplementary angle. We can tell because we have a straight line over here. So I'll be writing 87 degrees plus x equaling 180. I'm going to solve both sides, or solve for x on both sides. So I'm going to subtract by 87. This will cancel out. Over here, I'll subtract by 87. And again, I'll have to do a little bit of borrowing. 10 minus 7 is 3. I'll have to do a little bit more borrowing again. 17 minus 8 is 9. So I have that x is equal to 93 degrees.